FEPCAST.
Is that a new graphic?
Yes, it is. Although I have to
Wow.
fix it. It's a little off. It's a little off center.
We're hitting the big time.
You know it. Well, I'll show you. I have even another new graphic that I made that was fancy just for this episode. Oh, let me see if I can pull up the image here. What do I guys? Welcome to the FEPCAST. It is I, Brian McWilliams, and of course I've got Rico and Donnie here with me.
Hey-o.
Looking beautiful, looking gorgeous. So this alien, I made this alien icon, which is loading up. Hold on, let me try to shrink us down. Nope, that didn't work.
No.
Riveting stuff here. Okay. I saw it.
Yeah, spooky, scary. But, you know, whatever. It's a one-time use, but it is pretty sweet. I'll leave it as the background for today. Yeah, welcome, guys. This is the alien-themed show. I mean, maybe appropriate because, you know, there's a big crackdown in the United States on aliens. So we decided we would watch the most alien-centric shows we could find. Of course, the brand new Alien Earth on Hulu. And the old, how old's Resident Alien? 5, 6 years?
I think about 5 or
4
6
years.
years. Yeah.
I looked up.
Yeah,
It
it's been
debuted
around.
in 2021.
Okay, so I'm surprised they have so many seasons. They're cranking them out because I had a client of mine did like the visual effects for that show, and
I'm surprised it was a sci-fi original, which you know we didn't really know sci-fi is making their own content, but here we are.
I know.
I think WWF was on Sci-Fi Channel for like 6 months back, like 15 years ago. So that's how I'm familiar with the channel. As you know, pro wrestling does go hand in hand with sci-fi.
Bring back Spike TV. That's what I want. Bring back Spike TV. There's a show. I bet we could find it on YouTube for free. We should review it, which is the Joe Schmo show, where they just screwed with the guy who had no idea he was on a reality show. Because there's a new version of that where it's like a jury.
I think they brought
I watched that jury one. It was actually not too bad.
Really? Okay. Well, and maybe we should do that jury duty show and the Joe Schmo
I don't want to
show
watch it again. I've already watched it. I'm a man with limited TV time. I'm not gonna.
You only have to watch the first episode. You don't have to watch them all.
Exactly. Yeah, Donnie, your mic's still fucked up, but it's all right. We'll power through. All right. So anyway, which do you guys want to get into first? Do you want to jump? I mean, we usually have a lot of banter leading into the show. I don't know if you have any banterable things. Oh, actually, I do have one thing. Let's do Resident Alien first.
All right.
Because we'll go through that one quickly, and then we'll get to the meat of the new show. But I do have a funny anecdote about Resident Alien because the show starts off an alien. You know, it's got like this voiceover. And it's like the guy, and he's saying it's freezing in, what is it, like Paradise, Bumblefuck Falls, somewhere cold in the middle of nowhere. And he goes, I have 4 sodas that have just exploded in my trunk because they're frozen and they explode, which reminds me of this past weekend because we went out to 3 hours away to Pismo Beach, drove up, met Sandy's mom and her family up there.
Did you take the train?
No. We did not take the train.
There's no train.
There is a train.
Yeah.
We do have a train story.
Oh, God. That was hard. Yeah, we could talk about the train story. But on this wine drinking extravaganza we had with the whole family, my wife's mom, Linda, we buy some bottles of wine. She comes home and unbeknownst to me or anybody, sticks one of the wine bottles in the freezer. And the next day we're cleaning up. I open the freezer and of course the wine bottle's frozen solid. The cork has exploded out and there's wine spilled into the bottom of the refrigerator. So, you know, perfect segue.
There you go.
And she was supposed to remember it like 20 minutes later, I assume.
Yes, that's the idea.
Was she already drunk at the time?
Oh yeah, we were all hammered from drinking at the winery all day.
Yeah, I've always. This is a good advice to the listeners. I do that a lot. I'll use the freezer power to cool down beverages, but always set a timer on your phone because you never know. You think you're going to remember, but you won't.
Or just leave the freezer open a tiny bit so it just keeps going.
So it just keeps dinging.
Beep. Yeah,
that's fun. I love that.
My dog barks when our fridge says. And ding, 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 when it alerts you, I'm open. Stupid fridge.
Is it a Mexican fridge? Because it sounded like it had an accent.
It does.
I'm
opening.
Is it an LG fridge?
Getting hot, bro.
Heavy Korean accent. Oh no! Conan, come out! Come back
It's one
here.
of them smart fridges. I can adjust the accent as I want.
Nice. It's like
That
like
would
your
be
Siri,
great.
or like
Yeah.
the new AIs. Like I think you can set like Super Grok to be like a sexy anime girl or something like this. You can, and she'll like sexy talk to you. I don't know firsthand, but I did hear it on a podcast. So
Yeah.
you know, that's where I get all my information from.
That
Right.
you hosted.
that I hosted and masturbated during. Yes.
Because that's what he does. He's doing it right now, folks. That's why it's called fun. He's
Doing a tubing. That's why he's only visible from the neck up.
Yeah, at any point in time. All right. So anyway, we'll top in. So Resident Alien, and we'll tell our train story between the two ferns. So Resident Alien, I've been intrigued by this show because it's got Alan Tudyk in it, the ginger actor. He always plays weird ass characters.
Yeah, I like that.
And yeah, he's in like Serenity and Firefly and a bunch of other shit. But it also, anecdotally, he was the robot in iRobot. He played the robot that is like the nice one, and all the other robots are going crazy. And apparently, he tested higher than Will Smith, so they pulled him off the poster. They like took his name off the poster after the audience was like, "Oh, we really love that guy who played the robot," and Will Smith was like, "No."
Wasn't it just
But his name couldn't be on the poster, even though his face.
Yeah, they pulled his
Like,
name.
you're not going to
off
look
the
at the name. Like, who looks at that name? Like,
all
that's
he's doing is
fucking
the
robot.
voice of the robot. I mean, why can't he put his name up there?
Dude, Will Smith answers all. I don't know. They couldn't argue with Will Smith. So Alan Tudyk. Yeah. God, your mic sucks, Don. Make me angry.
Yeah, just talking to your computer.
Just unplug it and use your computer audio because it's worse with the mic. Yeah, the cord's definitely jacked. It sounds horrible. So this alien crash lands on Earth, and it starts off like I'll say coming in. I thought this was a pure comedy, but it starts off with the alien, right?
Yeah, it was a little surprising.
Yeah, it was very funny. I thought it was very funny.
Well, I kind of thought it was going to be like Third Rock from the Sun type alien, John Lithgow, just happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Not that I watched that show more than like 5 times, but that's my recollection of it.
There's a bit of that.
Good-natured alien.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
And
a touch of that fish out of water kind of learning on the fly that is always fun when aliens are dropped into our society and our culture and they have to assimilate quickly and then they just make fun of us.
Well, that was funny. The assimilation part was funny, but just before that, the alien lands and just brutally murders this this guy. Like Alan Tudyk, is like, "Oh, what are you doing? Oh, an alien!" And he just slaps him in the face, which is kind of funny. And then the alien just kills him, just throws it through a wall and then throws it through a hole in the ice, and he's dead. And like Rico, I was expecting him to come and be like, "I'll morph into what I think a human looks like," but he just takes his personality after killing him, and in brutal fashion. Didn't expect that coming.
Yeah, I was a little. That was a curveball to me. So just a point of order. When he is flying his spaceship into Earth for a mission that we find out at the end what it was, did the spaceship get hit by lightning and that's why it crashed?
I don't think they specify why.
It looked like it just started catching on fire because it was going through a storm. And these aliens are, as he says, much more advanced than humans. And I would have thought you could build a spaceship that could withstand a lightning strike.
I don't know. At the very end of the episode, it had a shot of his spaceship and like one of the hover things flew off. Did you guys watch all the way to the end?
Yeah.
So that didn't look like
it was because it got hit by lightning, but whatever, maybe not.
Maybe, I don't know. User error, perhaps. But he crashes, and at the very end is interesting because he's very dismissive of the humans, right? He's like, and that's part of the fun of it. He's smarter, faster, stronger, but he can morph or like change something to look like a human, except to certain, like one kid in town can see him as a real alien. And there's a funny line where he's like, "This is bullshit," but he learns how to be a human because he's got to blend in. He's trapped there, and we find out his ultimate mission at the end of the show, which we'll circle back to. But there was, hilarious lines where he's sitting there and he's trying to learn English and he's watching Law and Order and just repeating double lines. Some line about it. A prostitute is not a legal defense, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, a hooker-client confidentiality is not a legal defense. Hooker-client
There's no
confidentiality.
such thing as a hooker-client confidentiality.
So he's watching it and just over and over again, he's hearing the Law and Order chung chung sound and like saying some dumb line again and again to get, speak English and learn English. And that came around in a funny fashion when he eventually goes in. He takes a doctor over. So his role is the town doctor and like a medical examiner, and goes in and, he sees a dead body from the sheriff, who was funny because they call him Big Black. And he was entertaining. But you find out that he's now embedded like the chung chung in his head. So he looks at a dead body and now, does some analysis, and he's just trying to figure out how to merge and get along with these questions people are asking him. And he goes, well, he's been murdered. Chung chung. And then, of course, people go, what the fuck was the chung chung about?
Yeah.
Well, he's very socially awkward because he doesn't really know how to interact. So and I think that's part of he's kind of a deadpan humor guy.
Yeah.
So when he first investigates, Big Black comes and says, hey, you're a doctor. We need you to investigate the death of the actual town doctor. And he looks at him for like 5 seconds and he's like, oh, that was fun. And then everyone's like, wait, what? That was fun. I solved a mystery. He stabbed himself.
Yeah.
And it didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But then again, they circle back to it at the end. And he kind of figures out after examining the body, opening the casket at a funeral, which atypical.
Doesn't go over well.
Say.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He doesn't know it's a faux pas, funeral faux pas.
Yeah. But he's got like the deadpan delivery of the alien is funny. Alan Tudyk is a good actor. And the voiceover, like the writing was good. Like the voiceover narration was pretty funny. Him, giving his take on what's going on in life, merging as an alien. They had a good scene with whiskey because, as I mentioned earlier, there's one little kid that can see through his alien camouflage. And he tries to get at the little kid at one point. The kid runs away. So he's like, all right, I have to kill that little kid. He had like a flashback after drinking all this whiskey with his, I don't know, police friend. What is her role?
She
like
was
a
the nurse of the doctor that was murdered.
Is that
why?
Okay.
That's why she assisted with the autopsy. And so after the autopsy, she goes, I'm going to go have a drink. Because once you play with dead people organs, the one thing you want to go do is consume alcohol right after.
Well, we should ask if Howie would respond to us, we would bring him back on for this exact point.
Yeah. Also, this town is...
He's a person who likes to drink and examine dead bodies. So
that is a hot nurse who is basically, you just met her and she's like, hey, you want to come hang out at the bar after work?
Yeah, that one didn't seem realistic.
Yeah, especially with how bizarre he is and how rude he was to her.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, whoa, this hot chick is really friendly. Good for him.
Yeah, right. And he told her she's a lizard and then he's smarter than her. That was a funny back and forth.
No wonder it's called Paradise over wherever he is. The hotties.
There was a great spot where there's in the opening credits, it shows the alien guidebook to interacting with whatever species you land on the planet on, in this case humans. And there is a scene where it shows him cutting, like it shows an alien chopping open a human's head and taking the brain out. And he's examining this dead body. The nurse's assistant leaves, who wants to go get a drink with him. And he's like, all right, well, I've got to, open up this body and I've got to squish this brain between my hands because it's in the guidebook and he really wants to squish the brain. So he opens it up, he's picking it up, he's like, ooh, who's weird now? And then of course like the wife of the guy walks in and starts
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still and then he's telling that story to the hot nurse and she still is hanging out with him and talking to him. Like,
right?
What, you cut his head open and was squishing his brains after the autopsy? And all right, you're crazy. I like it.
Goes to show you find a girl that's been in a terrible abusive relationship and she'll go along with anything.
And she was in a terrible abusive relationship. But also nurses are crazy and sexually deviant. We all know that. That's a fact. Well-known fact, by the way. Nurses.
I think they're just nuts to begin with. Yeah, they're you got to be around a bunch of sick gross, dying people. Takes a special soul, but they're also twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So
they
he gets
murder
hammered.
their patients sometimes too, which is kind of
They do. And also
Yeah.
babies sometimes. So they're getting hammered and drinking whiskey, and he's like, "Oh my god, what is this whiskey?" So he drinks it. He leaves all hammered, and that's when he remembers this kid can see him and see through his camouflage, which is a great scene because he's like, "Oh, I have to go kill this child." And he goes, "One thing I'll say about whiskey is it makes you think really clearly."
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was rationally or something.
Here's the exact line. I'll say one thing about whiskey. It's allowing me to make smart, rational decisions. And then he goes to kill the
kid. It's exactly how we all think when we're putting it down the night of.
Another point for the nurse. It shows him taking probably 10 to at least 10 shots in short order. And she's like, "Are you okay to drive?" Like, what? And then she gets on her bike and pedals away, which was, I thought, funny too. And it reminded me of
a bike than it would be to drive a car after 10.
Well, shots. It reminded me of a time when I still lived in LA. We were coming back from some afternoon drinking, and I was riding a bike home with Mark, and he ran into like 5 parked cars in a row. It was amazing.
That's Once you hit the first one and you're gone, you're just disoriented. You try to get back on the horse, you just go bank. And you're like, "I'm fine." Bank.
I think you should walk your bike.
Yeah, nope. Ego
it was a persistent one.
Yeah. So anyway, moving it along. So I know we're going to talk probably a lot longer about the new show Alien. So I don't want to take too long with Resident Alien. So he goes to kill the kid, but the kid starts yelling. Parents come in. He hides under the bed, and the kid's like, "There's an alien under my bed," and they're like, "Shut up, you kid! You don't know what you're talking about." As any good parent would do. The dad's like, "I watched ET as a kid. It's fine." So he gets away with it, but he's still being accused of being the murderer, right? They're still suspecting him.
But you forgot a funny part there.
Okay, what? Is it the beatboxing sheriff?
No, when the kid's being led away by his dad and like taken into the parents' room, he looks back at the alien, and the alien flicks him off under the bed. Fuck you, kid.
Which is funny. He learned, you know what? It's true. Like, you always learn the swear words in the foreign language first. And so one of the first gestures the alien learns is the FU gesture.
Yeah, that and saying this is bullshit. He says this is bullshit, that the kid can see him.
We always learn.
So the sheriff still suspects this weirdo because he's new into town, right? And the doctor's dead, and he's trying to suspect him. And he put the doctor's body just in a pile of snow. Like, the reason the sheriff went back and said, "Hey, what's going on? You look nervous," is because he had taken the body out of the morgue and just thrown it in a snow pile and buried it to keep it cold. Because I guess they didn't have, I don't know, more coffin holes. Coffin holes.
They had an ice machine.
They must not have a morgue freezer.
A mortuary with a cold. So he puts it back there. But as we're waiting for the sheriff to arrest him, you got the sheriff, who's a big black, and he's a big black guy, and everybody calls him Big Black. And then his assistant, his sheriff's deputy, who is trying to be like, I don't know, the fat chick from Bridesmaids as hard as she can. But they're in the car, and the girl turns to Big Black. She goes, "Can we have some music?" And he goes, "You want some music?" And he's so deadpan, he just starts going, like, really good beatboxing. I can't beatbox. Really good beatboxing. And the scene goes on for like minutes, just with him beatboxing, and then she eventually starts singing along with him.
Wasn't he random. Beatboxing Amazing Grace too?
Yeah, I think so.
Really random, like the exact opposite choice of a song you would think beatbox.
Yeah.
That scene was amazing. I was like, you know what? I love it. I love what random ass crazy writing. And also, there's a scene with Big Black earlier where he tells the alien, Alan Tudyk, he's like, call me Big Black. And Tudyk looks at his police card. He goes, "Oh, because of the truck." which is big and black.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't understand color. And the sheriff goes, "You think you're funny?" That's a great line.
Alien's like, no, I don't even. He doesn't even know that there's black people and white people on the planet yet. He just thinks they're all lizard humans.
Yeah. So anyway, so the idea wraps up as Rico mentioned earlier. So he thinks he solved the crime. They're going to bury the body. He goes to the funeral, and then he goes, "Oh wait, I just realized something with his hair. All right, the hair and the reason this guy had cuts in his neck, and they thought, oh, he suicided himself. That's what the alien believed. But he now realizes that he was poisoned and he was trying to give himself a tracheotomy because there was a whole situation where why would a doctor miss his carotid artery if he's trying to kill himself? So he was trying to give himself a tracheotomy, failed, and that's why they think he was in fact poisoned and the murderer is at the funeral. But we don't get to find out who the murderer is.
No, we'd have to watch the next episode. But I gotta say, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna tune in.
Yeah. Shocked.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Well, one more detail. At the very end of the show, you also find out that regardless of all this, he still wants to exterminate all of humanity. And that's actually why he's there. So,
yeah, that's the mission. For unclear reasons. Why he needs to fly to another planet to kill everyone.
Every alien comes to Earth and they want to murder us all, and then they fall in love with us because we're so cool. We have such good times. And then
Is this from Don's Predator fan fiction?
No, it's like
gently caressing his crab mouth and leading for a smooch.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Goku couldn't take us out. He goes, I like Earth. It's great. And then he became our biggest champion.
Yeah. All right. So what do you give it, Don? You liked it?
I liked it. I'd say I'd watch it again. I'd say let's give it like a solid C+ right now.
C+.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you watching it? Why do you want to watch a show that's a C+?
Well, I figure it's right there. It's gonna be right in the middle. It's not gonna be too good. It's not gonna be too
average. He only watches shows that match his personality.
Yeah. It's above average, slightly above average. I don't know. You gotta wait.
Don feels guilty watching good TV. If it's any better than a B, he starts feeling real guilty. He's like, "This wasn't made for me. I'm dirt. I don't deserve this."
Yeah,
I have to watch worse television.
If I deserved it, I'd have watched it sooner.
I'm gonna watch this show in 4 years.
Yeah, where's it better?
The entire generation has graduated college in the time.
I will say I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought the pacing was good. Characters were funny. The narration was good. I'm in. I don't have much time to watch much of anything, but if I had the chance, I would definitely watch it. I would give it a solid B+.
Yeah, I give it a B. I thought it was pretty clever. It was a little too long for me. With a comedy, I like it under 30 minutes. And then I looked and said, oh, maybe it's just the first episode is very long. No, they're all 45 minutes. So, that's kind of drawing it down for me. Just got to get a little punchier, get it right to the point. But, yeah, I may watch it again in the future. Probably not, but I did enjoy it.
Good plane download fare. You download the episodes and watch on the plane.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good advice for people.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on then to the big plate of Alien here. As I had called this episode and asked the question, is Alien Earth worth exploding out of a chest cavity for? So, who wants to take us into this new Hulu original, Alien: Earth?
Well, looks like
not you, Rico.
Go for it.
I thought Don waved himself in, so I was.
No, I know. Just go.
I don't know. This is it was the wipe, right? It was fresh. Yeah.
I still don't know what you mean by this gesture.
Oh, take it away, Rico.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I don't think I've ever watched any of the Alien movies.
What?
Never.
Are you
interested in them?
Fucking kidding me?
And I knew this would make Brian mad.
It does make me mad. The first two Alien films are some of the most fantastic sci-fi, horror, just in general movies you're ever going to see. Especially the first Alien. It's Sigourney Weaver. It'll make you want to bang Sigourney Weaver. That's how good the movie is.
This is
That
just
was
like
Never
when
really interested.
we're trying to explain the Dexter to Brian last week.
Yeah, well, you're missing out. So there's aliens that they're these horrible xenomorphs that you saw briefly in this episode, and they replicate themselves by shoving a schlong with a big crab that attaches to your face and puts a schlong down your throat that lays a baby that then explodes out of your chest in horrific fashion. It's horrifying.
Wait, you're missing out a key component. Is the thing that comes out of you?
Oh, it's in the
part
future.
Of that alien and part of you, so it like changes every time.
It
Really
does.
cool.
It does. Yeah. So anyway, maybe Rico's not the best person to describe this. Go ahead, Don. I'll give you a shot.
Okay. Well, this alien takes place in the future, or right around like 100 years from where we are now, and it seems like that there are, different factions of Earth that are competing. One of them went out in outer space to get
Under corporations, basically mega corporations.
Yeah. Mega corporations are now what run Earth. Instead of countries, they're corporations. One of them sent a space ship out for whoever knows 850 million miles away. They have specimens. They're bringing them back to Earth. And then, of course, just like in every good sci-fi movie, the specimens get out. And the way that they kind of lay it all out is kind of different. They show you the beginning of the story, little flashes of what you know is going to happen. But then they kind of twist it at the end. Well, I won't say they twist it, but yeah, the spaceship is then on a collision.
I don't know that Don was the best person to describe this either.
I was just going to let it keep going. Okay, yeah. So yes, there's a spaceship. They go out to take the specimens. It's got a full crew, but it's also got basically what you learn in a lot of the alien movies. At the stage, there's different types of beings that go out. Some are cyborgs. Some are like the new ones are called synths that they're inventing, and these are human brains in robotic or synthetic bodies. The cyborgs are the ones that always keep betraying people in movies, but they're loyal to the corporations, right? They're robots, but they have human tendencies, and they have blood and stuff pumping through them, but it's robo blood. Then you got humans, and they introduced us with, the multiple corporations at the same time as they're just creating this new type of live forever body, which is putting a kid's brain, and they have all these sick kids, putting their brains into a brand new fancy robo body. There's wrinkles to that because the robo bodies don't have all of the different chemicals that would put you through puberty or have endorphins or allow you to feel certain emotions. So where you come in to that robot body may be where you stay mentally. And there's a kind of a discussion about how you solve that. So that's one aspect of these new bodies.
I can solve that problem right now. All you have to do, apparently, to switch your brain into some robot body is watch TV on a ceiling. So if it's that easy, switch the body fucking every year. Like, all right, you're in a 12-year-old body. You're in a 13-year-old body. You're in a 14-year-old body.
But still,
watching TV.
You're not getting the body still robotic though. So they're not getting all of the chemical the chemical interactions are not happening to allow them to develop at the same way.
We can't insert chemicals into the body to simulate puberty, but we can transfer a brain.
They talked about that. As they
can
do that.
They can do it.
Yeah, but that whatever. We're not getting into trans rights conversations here with hormone therapy, Rico.
Robot
robot trans
rights.
That's
a different podcast skin. He's gonna have to.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the one plot line is this girl who's sick, and also Timothy Oliphant's in it. Love him as some weird. He's going to turn out to be a cyborg or something.
He's totally.
I think he already said he was
a cyborg. Yeah.
And he's like, that's the problem with humans or something.
Yeah.
So top of the food chain.
Yeah. So you got this young girl who gets in the new body who's dying of cancer.
Rico.
You got Timothy Oliphant, who's like her guardian cyborg angel, keeps her safe. You've got this young child prodigy who's like the wonder kid that figured out how to make the human brain go into the cyborg body, right? That's the one faction.
Yeah.
The spaceship that collected all the
Prodigy.
specimens, predictably, they all get out. They start murdering the crew, and you got a black cyborg who looks, by the way, I was confused because he looks a lot like the synth body that they put the young black boy into, and I was trying to figure out if they're the same fucking body.
I thought that too. Originally, I thought maybe they're showing us like a flashback of how they got the crew. Right. That's what I thought. It was like a crew flashback of how they were. But no. But then when they showed the black kid again from the surgery room, I was like, okay, it's not the same dude. It's just a different bearded black man. Yeah.
But I thought the same thing. I was so confused for a little bit of this, like the first 20 minutes, trying to figure out what the timeline was.
Terrible casting on their part for that.
Yeah, only have one black guy with a beard. That's a Hollywood rule as old as time.
To be clear, this is not anything to do with. We don't think all black people look like. These two look a lot alike. Like, I mean, a lot.
They try to, almost to the point where they wanted you to think that was maybe a flashback. And also, if you're going to be like getting a new cryogenic or whatever it's called, transferring your consciousness into a cyborg's body, is there going to be a wispy beard on it?
Right.
No, right? It's just going to be some clean ass plastic. They're not going to put a fake beard on it.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I was literally thinking like, cast a different looking black dude, like just because it really was confusing. So. You got cyborg black guy whose name is like a monocle or something like that, and he sells out because all these androids always sell out the crew. He is loyal to the company. The alien gets out and he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna let everybody die, and my number one priority is to get this specimen back to Earth. But the ship is crashing. It loses control. And this is the one thing, like only two things really bothered me in this series. The pacing was a little slow in the first episode. Right, a little too slow, and this massive spaceship, which we've been exploring, clearly exploring space for quite a while now. You've got sleep pods, you've got 800 million mile trips. There's nothing to stop a spaceship from just coming in for a landing and crashing.
Not only was there nothing to stop it, there was no forewarning at all.
Yeah.
The people were just playing on the roof of this downtown area, and all of a sudden, this spaceship fucking crashes in. Like, I had no idea this was really. No one saw this coming. No meteorologist in the future could say, "Hey, that's fucking weird."
Maybe
There's no NASA
alert. We get it from by accident now. Text message alert. Watch out, nuclear bombs coming. You're like, and then it's just some asshole in Hawaii sat on the thing. But yeah, where's that?
It's just somebody going, "Psych, I farted." Nice.
I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, if nothing else, you just shoot it out of the sky. Like, no fighter planes are going to intercept this thing and blow it up. Just going to let it crash.
Yeah. No idea. They were completely like, whoa, where did this thing come from?
Well, like the news will tell you
all here.
They're like, there's a cloud a mile away. It's going to be a storm. We're hunker down. It's like they couldn't have any alert system at all saying, hey, guess what? There's a slow moving fucking Boeing ship coming.
It crashed into something in space as it was coming towards Earth. I don't know what it was.
A warning.
Yeah. Like, hey, there was damage to this giant apparatus we have in space for some reason.
Maybe that's why their sensors were down. And maybe
it should be a sensor if your sensors are down.
If something can run into your sensor and take the sensor out without you knowing about it, it's not a good sensor.
I always thought that was kind of the easy way out on movies where they have a guy just spray paint the camera, and he goes, they're never gonna find him now. That's it. No other evidence ever exists.
All right, so I brought you up to speed on the basic world of this, and the young girl that goes in, the cancer girl that goes into the synth body, she then her name's Wendy, and she likes, so they watch, like Rico said, a cartoon. They watch Peter Pan. And he's, here's the land. You're going to go into a new body, and like you'll never land. You'll never get old. You'll never die.
Like the Lost Boys, they're going to live forever.
Right, exactly. And they make a good Lost Boys reference a little later in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So she then, convinces the other kids in the cancer ward to join up and also become synth people. And they are like super strong, invincible. She jumps off a cliff and falls like 4,000 yards, which even if you have a synth body, still seems a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, there's apparently no damage that comes to this material. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good.
You should use this in other walks of life too, not just for robot bodies.
Maybe make your sensor ring out of that.
Yeah, it's indestructible.
Maybe they did everything already. Like, you see how they try to make robots play soccer now, and it just looks like worse than 4-year-olds trying to kick the ball. So maybe like they've already outdone all the sports. They've done everything. They're like, let's just put humans in these bodies because it's boring to watch them kill each other.
Yeah. So they get the kids synthed up, and I'll leave it at that. So is anybody like thoughts about the first half of the show? Let's call it, and then we'll get into the alien. What happens with the Marines and shit.
I was bored.
There was no pace.
I was like, I mean, I'm like, okay, they're switching the girl's body. That makes sense. That's interesting concept. In the future, you're going to be able to take a sick human and transfer their brain to a healthy host of some sort. Okay, but then it took forever after that. So I was like, what? I'm like, they keep waiting for something to happen. And I'm like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah,
like, it's supposed to be an alien show, and I'm bored out of my mind.
They split the time between the stuff happening in space with aliens, which is what you really want, and then also developing this character with the cancer and the kids. So obviously the worlds will collide and something will happen. But I thought it kind of had like a movie-like pace. That's what it felt like. I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. Well, this was an hour. This was a solid hour of a show. And
they released 2 episodes, I think, for the first launch too, which I barely made it through the first one. They are long.
It was long.
That's the thing with these shows that kind of they go, oh, it's a show, but we want it to feel like a movie. Sometimes it feels like a really slow movie.
Yeah.
It's too slow.
Well, I understand they're setting the world up, and if you're like Rico, you don't know the originals. Okay, you need a little bit more setup there. And I appreciated, as a big fan of the movies, at least the first couple, the world they created was very authentic to the movies. Like even the sets, the mother, like the computer when he went in, it's all the different lights. Where he's in the control center and the reference to the mother, that's like from the original Alien. So that I appreciated. But yeah, it was slow and ponderous and like cut it down. Like there's just, it reminds me of like all these stupid A24 studio movies they make where they go to like Midsummer and it's like, I don't need a 2-minute pan shot with a fucking cello note. I don't need it. Cut it out.
Yeah. I always try to like overly dramatize the characters and
yeah, like they had beautiful shots of rivers and mountains, and then Wendy's sitting on top. You're like, could have done without all that. Unnecessary.
Yeah. Who do you think you are, Wes Anderson? Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So but that's all right. Setting the stage, making the world. So now they get into it, right? The ship crashes, and these Marines just happen to be close enough. And guess what? Wendy, Cancer Wendy, Synth Wendy, she has a brother who is a medic, a living live medic, not a synth boy, a medic who she remembers growing up with. She still has those memories, and she follows him. And I don't know how she's doing this. This is a little weird.
It's like through the TV screens.
Yeah, and through his personal screens. And I'm like, why is she able to do this? She's a kid and got put in a different body. Did she become a fucking mega hacker? Like, why is she able to do this shit? I don't understand it.
I imagine the technology that she has access to through the Prodigy company, they probably own all the TVs.
But why would they allow her to do that?
Yeah.
Well, was she like, was she the patient zero of this new procedure?
Yeah.
She was.
Yeah. Okay.
She's number 1. Yeah. So she's, maybe a catering to her because she's new. But she sees her brother who's a medic, and he works for the Prodigy Marine Corps, which is like they all have their private militaries, right? So this is search and rescue, private Marine Corps. He's the medic for that. So they run in because the ship crashes, and it's a different nation, a different corporate nation ship. So they're like, all right, well, it crashed in our section, and it's laden with scientific goodies. So we're going to go in, and we're going to see if there's survivors, but also we're going to, see what we can pull out of there that might be profitable. And Boy Wonder, who runs this other corporation, you know, Timothy Olyphant or somebody says, hey, she's not going to be happy, like the leader of this other corporation. He goes, well, she can sue me. Right? Exactly. So they rush in, and fools rush in, and the Marines get on board, and then you start seeing a little bit more of the yucky stuff happening.
Yeah, some good action there. They actually show you what, you know, because the crew on the original ship was attacked by the specimens, but they don't show you how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get to see some little creepy crawlies doing their thing, sucking some blood,
Super
murdering.
So the first giant insect, whatever it was, goes up the guy's face, under his helmet, and he's freaking out. But wouldn't you try to squash it?
Well,
His
they were
hands are
handcuffed,
tied.
remember?
I know
Well,
I know he's
hanging his head.
I know he's handcuffed, but like if you got this crazy thing in your head, are you just gonna let it? Well, I don't know what it's gonna do. Hopefully it's
Yeah,
good, or are you gonna try
I
to
agree.
take matters in your own hand and
Bash your helmet
kill it.
on the wall.
Yeah.
Try to bite it. It's like
Squeeze it.
bite your elbow. Yeah, you look like a handicapped person. But yeah, I know. He's like, oh, it's crawling right over us. I'd be like, I'd be biting like my dog when he bit my testicles, just randomly biting around.
blow it off.
Yeah. But this gross worm cockroach thing latches onto his carotid artery and just blows up like a balloon and then falls off of him.
Yeah, that
What
was
happens
kind of
with that?
weird. I was like, what is that thing going to turn into?
By the way, even if you drank that much blood, it wouldn't kill a guy. I mean, maybe because it drank it so fast so his brain died, but it would happen in like 10 seconds. You'd still be alive. The Marine'd still be alive. You'd just pass out, right?
Maybe it does what a
I really
mosquito
don't know.
does, where it has to like put some stuff into your blood to make it more drinkable for itself.
Yeah, maybe.
And that poison kills them.
Anticoagulant.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
Would the
they're
resident alien doctor be able to treat these Marines who had the blood sucked out of them?
Oh yeah, he's seen that before. He's seen that before.
Oh, that's the
He
Smith
knows
alien.
that planet.
Those fuckers.
Well,
Yeah,
so her
yeah.
brother is apparently
It's like
like
the
super
prick.
medic. He also, and I guess he's not going to medical school for whatever reason. He goes in and he sees in the capsules, right? They're examining, the Marines are going in there. The black cyborg, by the way, had hidden in a panic room from the alien xenomorph, the one that people know from the movies. He hides and survives the crash in this super tight room. So he comes out and his mandate is to protect the specimen. So he lets them know, he goes, hey, corporation, we've been boarded. I'm going to go take care of this and try to get the specimen. So he's now going out and trying to kill the Marines. And I'm presuming, because it looked like he lowered a slug down, right? That so he intentionally kills the two Marines by handcuffing them together. He knows they're going to be eaten. He's now going around the ship and he's going to try to kill people. So there's that aspect of it. The other Marines are looking for survivors, but Medic Boy, Wendy Cyborg's brother, or Wendy Synth's brother, he sees the exploded out chest chasms and chest cavities, and he assesses that these bodies are at least a week old because of the color of the blood, and that they had been exploded outward. So he's like the little Sherlock Holmes of this entire scenario.
Yeah, they're gonna find a little blood trail of what crawled out of the chest cavities and try to trace that back and see what they can find. So.
Yeah, like I was like, we need to follow that, and I'd be like,
yeah,
no,
no, you should go out.
All you, pal.
Go the opposite.
Let me know how that works out for you.
I'll be over here checking my email.
I'll be here. I'll be in whatever the glass that isn't broken is. I'll crawl into one of the habitats.
I'll be over
still
here with
not-
all the squish Chinese people, because for some reason all the Chinese people live here, and then all the white people just work for the company.
There were a lot of squished Chinese. I will say that. There was one guy that was. There was one.
Oh, it was
guy
called.
under
That's what I thought it was gonna. They called it New Siam, right? So it was essentially, the Siam was taken over by Thailand or China back in the old days, and so they took it back and they called it New Siam again.
I do not like my alien Sam. I do not like them new Siam.
I do not like Siam. I am.
New Siam. I am.
Will you eat the alien on a boat? Yes.
Oh, Enrico's dead.
So,
So
well, at least the
that's
graphic looks great.
yeah, now you can see. Isn't that awesome? Not a cool
Yeah,
graphic.
it's really good now.
Yeah. So they got the Marines on the ship, and now because Wendy, the synth Wendy, Cancer Wendy, I'll just call her, it's easier.
Yeah.
She sees that her brother has gone onto the ship, and she's like, "I gotta save him."
And
So
she's been watching her brother this whole time, who her brother thinks she's dead.
that she's
Her
dead.
brother has
Yeah.
no idea that she's been transferred into a whole nother body. That's a whole nother angle. But she also loves her brother. She's watching him all the time. She knows he's like a medic and saves people. And I think that's what inspired her to think, hey, we have powers. We're on this island. We should go to the site of the crash and see if we can help people. But she's a kid. No one's going to listen to her. So
Yeah, but she goes to Wonder Boy, and he goes, "Yeah, let's do it. You're all super cyborgs."
yeah.
I mean, the very rational response is from his, I don't know, chief and staff, who goes, "This would be an unbelievable loss if even one of these brand new multi-billion-dollar investment bodies gets lost." And he goes, "Well, then don't lose one." You're like, "Well, that's stupid." Okay,
Yeah.
all right, dummy.
Glad you had that advice.
Yeah. Oh,
Great
I'll
job.
get my Apple tiles then, and
Yeah, right. Yeah,
throw 'em all
it's
there.
like a ridiculous response for somebody that's apparently running a multi-billion-dollar corporation that controls a third of the world. But they send, and this is a cute line because he shows them all the Peter Pan. They're the lost boys. They can never age. They're almost impervious. He goes, "All right, send them out to go help search and rescue," not knowing, and this is foreshadowing, not knowing what waits in store, because Timothy the Oliphant on the plane there talks to Wendy and he goes, "Hey, you guys, you humans used to be food. And then one day you decided we're not food anymore. And just know that there's always going to be something out there that still thinks you're food and can make you into food." So there's your foreshadowing. Even these super synth people.
Yeah, so
Might
I
not be
make
enough.
you think that maybe he's like an older synth and he's seen it before and he knows what could go down. Because if they have been tinkering with synths and cyborgs, he might be an experimental one, right? So
That's what I was thinking too. I think that he must be an early model that, as an adult, because they said earlier, adult brains aren't flexible enough to transfer over, and maybe they found that out with him.
Yeah.
So maybe he lost part of whatever humanity or whatever it might be. I will
Or
say
he
I
had-
love.
Or I was going to say, or he had a brain that was altered because of alien, DNA or xenomorphing, and then he was able to be transferred into another brain because of that.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
I love Timothy Oliphant. I think he's a great actor.
Me too.
I hope something happens with his character because he was pretty boring.
Exactly.
Waste of an actor.
I was like, what the fuck is he doing in this role? It's just he's
Yeah,
weird.
I was kind of surprised to see him too, but it tells me that
very
maybe
boring.
Yeah, he thinks maybe there's something going on there if he wants to be, or he just needs money.
He died. Well, I don't know. I don't know how many wives he's divorced and how many children he's left behind. But
There's always more.
His Timothy Oliphant's great as a snarling, snarky, he's got like such good qualities, and you're like, none of that. Nope. We want you to be deadpan, boring as shit. Just stand there. You're like, all right.
All right. Well, how much are you paying me? Okay.
I'm talking myself into a lower grade on this show. I give it a pretty good grade, but now we're talking through it.
I thought I was going to be like by far the biggest outlier on this show. I thought I was going to come in here and have a circle jerk of how great this show was. And I was
got
like,
good qualities, Rico.
It did.
The lead chick is good. I actually like her. It's yet another show with a female lead, because every show made for the last 5 years apparently has to have a female lead. But she's not an obnoxious girl boss. Yes, she's superhuman impervious, but they did a good job of making her actually very likable. I like the character. I like the actress. I'm not rooting against her. which is what I find myself doing with almost every lead female character in everything made in the last 5 years.
Well,
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
No problem. I just think the pacing of this show was way too slow.
That's good.
Not nearly enough aliens. It was way too much about this fucking
They got to keep you
cyborg.
watching for like 12 episodes. They can't give you all the alien right up front. Although Resident Alien did. They give
It's
you the
only
alien right
eight. It's only 8 alien or 8 episodes, I believe, that they said.
Well,
8 episodes?
for this, well, still though.
It's not that many.
I don't. Whatever. I mean, it was too slow. And like you said, they wasted Timothy Oliphant. And I didn't really care for the boy genius. His character I thought was stupid. Whatever it was supposed to be. Yeah, they could have just gone right to the alien stuff a little bit better. That's what I wanted.
That could be why they gave 2 episodes right away when they released it.
They could have just combined those episodes and made them into one good, fast-paced episode.
Yeah,
we don't have that kind of time on this show.
Well, you know what the problem is too. I think this is why I like horror series that are the like anthology style. Like it's one and done, quick pace, like Supernatural, X-Files. All right, it's a scary show, but we're gonna go. Here's the monster, right? Oh, it's a mystery, but here's the monster, and then we're gonna solve it. We're gonna fight the monster, and then it's over. It's 1 hour and it's encapsulated. Horror movies, and like you said, you're right. In the pacing's a horror movie pacing. Horror movies tease it out, right? And you want that suspense in a horror movie. And Rico, you should still watch Alien. Please don't be turned off. Go watch it tonight. You're gonna love it. But even at that, they do such a good job of setting the world and building like they have building blocks that it keeps you fascinated and keeps you on board. And you're right in that if you're coming in cold on this, it doesn't have that as much, especially because they actually show you the alien right up front in like through a window. So you already know what it looks like because they figure everybody in the world knows what aliens is except Rico.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that begs the question, then why is it so slowly paced? Because you already know it. You're not revealing anything.
Well,
why so slow?
Every pilot is that way, unfortunately. They're just always just act one. You know, they just have to set up, and sometimes it takes longer. If it's a bigger show, it's a longer setup.
Some of these pilots are made for other people in the industry to show how artsy they are and what cinematography, what a beautiful score and fucking all this shit that maybe insiders will give them credit for, but people like me, lowbrow, it was too slow for me. So I watched it. I'm like, I'm kind of intrigued by the ending, but I don't think I'm intrigued enough to keep watching it.
Oh wow! All right. How about you? Heard it here first.
I am. I will. I think it is worth exploding out of a chest cavity for. I will continue to watch. But again, I'm a big fan of the original movies, so I'll watch it. I'll see what happens. I would give it. I gave it originally an A-. I talked myself out of that. I'll give it a B. Again, the pacing was bad. There was some doofusy stuff in it, but I enjoyed it. Except for the pacing overall.
Very good.
Yeah,
well, I'll give it a B.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
All right, I'll give it a B. I also think, the B rating's good. I also like the franchise of Alien. Seeing some of the older movies are cool, and the newer ones too. I enjoy. So things from that franchise are good, and some of them, but again, they're also very slow, right? There's the whole thing with the alien thing. So you're on this ship, all this stuff's going down, you wait the whole time to just see the alien, and just to fight it, and of course you win. But that's the whole thing with these things. It's like aliens, they're slow, but I think I'll watch the rest of it, or definitely the next episode, because I'm intrigued. So, all right, what do you say, Rico?
I'm going to give it a C because of the pacing. The ending was interesting. Once they got the aliens involved, like the scene where the big alien is bashing its head against the control room, I thought was a cool scene. And then the tiny insect aliens, though the guy should have tried to kill it a little better before it ate him. still, it's a cool scene. So I'm interested in those aliens. One thing I find interesting, kind of a non sequitur, is apparently the only show Don doesn't like is our podcast. He's bored by it, but he's not bored by any of the shows that we watch. It's quite the paradox, I find. It's weird.
I feel like that my head's merging into the background of, I don't know. I think I have to put my ring light back in. I thought this overhead light would do it. I'm like blending into my poster. I look exceptionally red.
It's the beard. Your beard and the frame are the same color.
I'm becoming one. I'm not that red by the camera. When I turn on this light, it like maybe look freakishly red now. See, it's better now. I have to set my ring light again. It's annoying. Oh well.
But you whatever. Orange for a second.
Well, yeah. I would say though.
I thought we were gonna add a new segment to the show.
No, that's for later. That's for later. That's not.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's not often that there's two shows we actually watch in an episode where I'm like, I enjoyed both of them to varying degrees, but I enjoyed both. And this is one for me. I know it's not the same for Rico, but I enjoyed both shows, and I would probably watch both again.
Mm-hmm. Which one are you more excited to watch?
I'm more excited for Alien Earth. That one grabbed a little bit more than like, and I like the Tudyk one, but I'll watch Alien Earth to see what happens with it. And the Tudyk one with Resident Alien, like I said, that's one maybe I'll download an episode here or there to watch on a plane.
The Resident Alien seems like, all right, the joke is already up. It's the same. It's going to be him acting as an alien in a town where obviously he doesn't want them to know. I guess they keep that going for 4 seasons. I mean, good for them.
Oh, it's going to be like Dexter. I would say the same thing about Dexter. That was what Dexter was for me. All right. Well,
Dexter's a great show.
Well, not the one we watched. We watched was shit.
Actually, I'm caught up on all those resurrections.
Of course.
I like that show.
Terrible.
I'm the worst. I know.
Terrible.
Oh, well.
All right. So what are we doing next time around? What are we watching? Any suggestions? Any thoughts?
No thoughts.
There's a lot of hype around. I basically just watch Netflix a lot, and one of the top 10 shows is The Hunting Wives. We could watch that, but it's
the
like
title sounds terrible.
Are these wives that hunt?
I don't know. I mean, you got to watch.
Or are they men that hunt their wives?
Sounds terrible.
Oh, I can't wait.
Sophie O'Neill moves to Deep East Texas and comes to socialite Margot's charms. Her life is soon consumed by obsession, seduction, and murder. How?
All right. We're in.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
All right. That's our next show then.
First episode's probably 2 hours.
Probably.
Set up the world of the Hunting Wives.
The Hunting Wives.
Yeah. I think doing
who's in it though?
In the top 10 are good.
Melleen Ackerman, who always shows her boobs.
Love her. God, I love her. She showed the first time I ever took note of her. Oddly enough, topless.
That's what she wanted.
She was in like Van Wilder or something topless. I was like,
it was Harold and Kumar, wasn't she?
Maybe that's what it was. Harold and Kumar. I was like,
she had that freak wife.
Oh yeah.
Freak husband.
Oh my god, incredible. And then in Watchmen, she's like, I know I'm a superhero, but look at these rockin' tits. You're like, I'll watch.
I might have to watch Watchmen. I've never seen it.
Well, now you should. Now you know. All right. So Hunting Wives will do on August 21st.
And
what's the old show? We still got Gilligan's Island. We've still got My Name Is Earl. We still got Malcolm in the Middle, 30 Rock. Any of these sound good? Any of these stronger?
Murphy
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island? All right, let's do it.
Murphy Brown.
I used to love Murphy Brown.
There was a running gag where she always had like a new secretary, right?
It should be WARP Cincinnati show because that woman just died from it.
Oh, you know, be a good one to do. News radio would be a fun one to do.
Ooh,
I
love
used to
news
love
radio.
news radio.
Joe Rogan, yeah, dude, with Phil Hart,
What a
and
cast.
alive, Phil Hartman,
yeah.
with a not yet famous Joe Rogan, with a not yet
Andy
crazy
Dick.
Andy Dick,
And the main guy that owned the radio station was
is
dude.
from Office Space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a
Milton.
great
Milton
show.
from
All
Office
right, you
Space.
gotta-
Did we just talk ourselves into doing news radio?
we got to make sure it's out there because some shows you just can't get them.
Yeah, I've watched it semi recently, actually. A few
All
episodes.
right, so we're doing Gilligan's Island and news radio. Which one?
Let's do Gilligan's Island. Save news radio for the next time.
All right, sounds good.
Which was I guess hunting and islands that kind of goes together.
Well, they don't always have to be themed. We're just randomly throwing them together.
That's more fun for the AI art, though.
It is. It is. All right. Any last words, ladies and gentlemen? No, they're too wise. They're wise to my tricks. All right, later, guys. Subscribe, follow, like. I played the wrong video. I can't find it. It's gone. It's gone. Here it is.
It was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It
though.
could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!